decision, yeah.
I'm glad he's found love, but she's left me alone. We're going to pause it right there. We'll be right back.
Put us in a box. Go ahead. That just gives us something to break out of. Because the next generation 2025 GMC Terrain Elevation is raising the standard of what comes standard. As far as expectations go, why meet them when you can shatter them? What we choose to challenge, we challenge completely. We are professional grade. Visit gmc.com to learn more.
Prime delivery is fast. How fast are we talking? We're talking puzzle toys and lick pad delivered so fast you can get this puppy under control fast.
Call it. We're in it. You've looked at what's happening and what continues to happen in Dallas. From your perspective, what's going on down there?
So you have people that probably have a bunch of psychological issues. Maybe they're prone to delusions. They're prone to believing things in spite of evidence. And that's what got them to this point. And this is fanciful. It's fun for them. They're probably enjoying it. But it doesn't shock me to hear the things that Will is talking about. I mean, there are families, and I get emails from these families once in a while. You know, the son disappeared, or one family member, got into a conspiracy theory. Now they can't even talk to the person. And there isn't much I can say to these families other than I'm not that kind of doctor. I mean, there's nothing I can do for this sort of stuff. And I sympathize and empathize with them, but there isn't much you can do.
What makes people predisposed to believe conspiracy theories in the first place? Why do they go and seek them out?
Well, the answer is going to be a little bit unsatisfying, but this is where we are, and that is that some people more than others have a worldview in which, they go over to the window when they wake up in the morning, they look out and they see stuff, and they say, oh, that must be caused by a conspiracy, being driven by people who I already don't like. And the question becomes, well, where does that come from? And the answer is we don't know yet. We just know that it exists, and we know that some people are just really prone to it. So it's not the beliefs themselves. It's not the ideas. It's that it's people that have a very thick set of lenses. So when they come into contact with these ideas, it's just easy for them to say, yeah, that must be true.
America, it's not a new thing to believe in conspiracy theories. It's not a new thing to have perhaps a warped sense of reality. We are the country that gave you the Salem witch trials. We're always looking for weird ways in which to perceive what's happening around us. How serious is the situation we're living in now? Is this an aberration? Is this something that social media has, one, created, or two, is just reflecting what's already been happening out there, and we're blowing it into it's overblown our perspective on it?
Yeah, look, as you said, conspiracy theories have been with us throughout American history. Going back to the witch trials, there's really rich history of it, sort of each kind of big pivot moment in the United States of a conspiracy theory is really abounding. At the same time, I think what's unique about the moment we're in is, number one, social media, as you mentioned, which I think helps people with this kind of conspiratorial mindset connect with one another. The way I think of it is, if you think of like the Kennedy assassination, in order to find like-minded people, you would have to maybe print a zine, send letters, go to a convention, stuff like that, and then everyone on your block would be saying like, you're a nut or whatever. Whereas now these people can just go online and find like-minded people, reinforce their beliefs, and find new recruits really, really easily. The other thing I would say is at least I think in modern history, we haven't seen this kind of conspiratorial thinking embraced by so many politicians, to the point where we have members of Congress who believe in QAnon and have supported it. Recently, Donald Trump is posting really explicit pro-QAnon videos. So in that way, I think it really helps mainstream these conspiracy theories in a way that we haven't had before.
I love thinking that in the old days, you at least had to learn how to produce a zine. Like, there's something to the stereotype of like, well, you had to cut out letters and you actually had to build a board and connect it with string here and there. And it's like, no, literally, there's a certain buy-in that buys you. Now you can do this all online. You don't even have to go to Hobby Lobby to buy the shit. You can do it on the internet. The buy-in is so low. Joe, I wonder, where do you see the threat level of something like this?
It's with politicians. So to me, I don't think people have changed all that much over time. If anything, we're believing conspiracy theories as much as we did 10, 20, 30 years ago. What's different now is not just Trump, but particularly Trump and other people who want to do what Trump has done. So when you have people who can act on conspiracy theories with a monopoly of authoritative force, when you have people who already have large audiences because they're politicians transmitting these things, that's going to reach a lot of people and it's going to influence a lot of people. Like any of us could go on to social media, and so now you have sort of a full court press of people saying it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged. So that's why you have between 60 and 80% of Republicans saying 2020 was rigged against them, rather than the normal 30, 40, 50% that might have otherwise said it was rigged, just for the fact that they lost.
How close are we to having 60 or 80% of the GOP believe JFK Jr. is coming back? Is that weeks or months away?
I think that would be a tougher one to pull off. I mean, Trump has a lot of influence, so if he got behind a conspiracy theory repeatedly for a long period of time, he could make people buy in. And if it's something like election fraud, he can pull that off because those ideas are always around. But sometimes he'll come out with conspiracy theories that just don't influence anyone. I mean, I'm not aware of a lot of Ted Cruz's dad killed JFK truthers out there, even though he pushed that, 6 or 7 years ago. I mean, it just didn't take off. But I think if you go after ideas that people are sort of already inclined towards, I mean, he can do a lot of damage that way.
Yeah. I mean, I think we are all inclined to the idea of wanting Aaliyah to be back in our lives again. We want another classic album. We want that redemption. I think that's on the cusp. If he even nudges us in that direction, I think we all buy tickets immediately to the next concert, whether or not she appears or not.
I mean, we think that QAnon stuff is wacky and crazy, and where do people come up with these ideas? But, I mean, we lived through the 80s. I mean, there was massive satanic panics during that time. Satan was everywhere. And even Oliver Stone's JFK movie, which was, a popular movie, was about the pedophile deep state going after the President of the United States. I mean, Joe Pesci played the defrocked pedophile priest. So even the basic idea behind QAnon is not new. I mean, all of this stuff is recycled and rehashed, and it's largely the same people believing the same stuff, sort of a choose-your-own adventure Mad Lib book that they're just replaying over and over again.
I think QAnon has a political valence to it as well. You look at the pictures from January 6th, all the people who were there who were convinced that this was going to be kind of this big, kind of fascist moment where the dreams were going to come true. And certainly, I mean, I think it's unique in that it has achieve such mainstream prevalence within the Republican Party. I mean, we're talking about election denial, stuff like that. And in many ways, I think QAnon is kind of an easy thing to talk about because you can kind of get a handle on it. It's people holding cues and stuff like that. But a lot of these ideas